actually into play. MiniWarGaming's Beat Map Batrep.
Welcome back to Beat Map Batrep Season 2, Episode 14, Imperial Guard vs. Necrons, going into Imperial Guard Turn 2. So he's got to recover a bit from the vehicle losses that he took in this first turn, but he still has plenty of firepower to hit me back pretty hard. So you have the guard moving out of the one tank, the other tank's moving in a better position to fire, and then he disembarks both of these chimeras because right now they're stunned, so the guys inside are not going to be able to shoot, which means those Scarab Swarms are just going to be able to tear apart the tanks this turn, getting all their auto hits and then stripping down even more armor. So he really wants to make sure he takes out those Scarab Swarms this turn. So the other guys are moving forward, getting ready to fire. These ones are moving forward. They have a flamer in there and then a bunch of last guns. And so he's going to try to take out all those Scarab Swarms. Command squad advances in the back, just trying to give some sort of command support. We got 3 plasmas, so he's firing those first. All 3 hit. I go to ground, so I get a 5+ cover because they're stealth, but all 3 of them fail. And so those are 3 insta-kills. So those Scarab Swarms are gone. And then I take some losses from the flamer, and then all of his last guns firing into the Scarab Swarms. Actually inflicted quite a few wounds, but I managed to save quite a few of them. So a couple of these swarms did go down to the combined fire from that one group. And then a bunch of last guns, or last cannons, into the warriors. The 2 groups are firing, and he manages to inflict 3 wounds, but I save 2 of them with cover. And the other group here is going to be firing their last guns as well, and trying to deal as much damage as they can, but I do save all 3 of those with my cover saves, and then he's got rapid fire last guns from them as well. I think the other ones were the plasma. And I do actually lose a few guys. 5 in total have gone down so far of that warrior group. Then 3 more last cannons. He really wants to take down that full group, because if they happen to run, or if he happens to be able to take them all out, then they won't be getting back up, and there's 18 of them. Firing into the Lich Guard manages to take down 2 of them. 2 invulnerable saves are failed there. That's 90 points a guys gone. They might come back, but we'll see. Other ones firing into the Ripper Swarms, or Scarab Swarms, hoping to insta-kill them, but I actually make my cover save. Now they get a 3+ cover save there because of their stealth, but still. Firing more into the Warriors, manages to take another one of them down, so they're taking heavy losses. Leman Russ firing its 3 plasma cannon shots into them. Gets a direct hit with the first one, I think that hits 4 of them, a direct hit with the second one, and then some scattering with the next one, but it still does manage to... No, it doesn't hit anything. Inflicting tons of wounds, and 3 more of the warriors go down to that. Because of the cover, they really did survive a lot of this hit. Other Leman Russ then focuses on them, gets a direct hit with the first one, direct hit with the second one, and a bit of scattering on the last one. I think it goes off and doesn't hit anything. And it hits 1 Lich Guard, which does go down. I failed 3 invulnerable saves right there. And then lots of wounds on the warriors, killing the Lord, as I had to allocate 1 to the Lord. And there's 11 in total that are dead. So does the Lord come back? They made their morale check right there. So that's another 5. That's another point. That's another like 80 points that come back. And then a bunch of the warriors come back. So that's 250 points of Necrons that have come back from reanimation. And, oh, just 1 of the Lich Guard. That's another 45 points, though, just from that one guy. Now, in close combat, I managed to strip off a couple more armor from this one, and then like all 3s are penetrating hits, so there's that many penetrating hits right there. Only 1 of them manages to wreck it. Automatic hits on the other one, strips off only 1 more armor, but does manage to get 2 penetrating hits, and one of them's a weapon destroyed, and the other one just stuns the crew inside. So his vehicle's there taking a beating. Necrons turn 2, the Scarab Swarms move over. They can't go in between the tank and the building in the movement phase, but they can move between it in the assault phase when they go after the Leman Russ. So right there, they're just getting in position to go after the Leman Russ behind it. The warriors are moving up, kind of into the open, but using the Chimera for cover from a lot of this army, and they're going to rapid fire into that group of veterans and hope to kill it. The Lich Guard move up, getting ready to engage the other group of guard on the other side. And then the Immortals, of course, do their slow and ponderous advance, as they're still able to fire their full 24 inches after they move up. Of course, trying to get as much cover from everybody behind. The command barge flies over the Leman Russ on the side, getting 3 hits on 4s. So we'll see how much damage he manages to do. And all 3 miss. So now my guy's out in the open and didn't manage to do any damage. Rapid firing from the warriors into the guard. Lots of hits and tons of wounds. And then we got the Staff of Light, and that's more than enough to kill that entire group because it all negates their armor, and they weren't enough in cover. So that group is completely dead. The Immortals then firing on the Chimera in the back. And they manage to get 4 hits and 1 glancing hit, but he does get a cover save, and he makes that cover. So no damage to the Chimera. Then he fires a Tachyon arrow at the same Chimera, just taking a chance here. Manages to hit, and roll a 1 for armor penetration, doing no damage. So that one-shot 30-point model, or 30-point upgrade, did nothing. But I can't complain. Everything else seems to be working pretty well in the army. Scarabs then charge through, and they actually multi-assault, 2 of them into the Leman Russ and 1 into the Chimera. The Lich Guard then charge up. They don't charge through cover, but they're going to be lower initiative anyway, so it won't really matter. And the Scarabs, one of the Scarabs goes after the Chimera, and only manages 1 hit, and only strips off 1 more armor, but manages to stun it again, so not too much damage right there. On the Leman Russ, however, get lots of hits, hitting on 4s there. Strip off 4 armor, bringing its free armor down to 6, so 3s will glance when I roll the next one. I actually managed 3 penetrating hits, and all 3 of them are wrecks. So that Leman Russ goes down, so he's lost 2 of his Leman Russes. He gets to hit my Lich Guard first, actually manages to inflict 3 wounds, or 2 wounds, and 1 of them I fail. So 1 more Lich Guard goes down, but we can probably predict what's going to happen when they hit back. They're hitting on 3s, wounding on 2s, and all of the guard die quite quickly to those Lich Guard. And then I get to see if the one guy comes back after they consolidate. And he does. That makes it 14 total Necrons. 340 points of Necrons have come back in this 2,000 point game. So that's a pretty good number, even for 2,000 points. And you can see that moving into the Imperial Guard line, their tanks are dying. He's lost 5 vehicles. Well, 4 of them have completely lost, and 1 of them stunned right there. And so his mechanized is going down pretty quickly. Then those Scarab Swarms are solely responsible for taking out all 5 of those vehicles. So definitely worth the 180 points they cost to bring to the game. So that's the end of round 2. Stay tuned for part 3. If you're on YouTube, click on the annotation right here in the middle. If you're on MiniWarGaming, click on the link below. And don't forget to subscribe and like this video if you want to see more battle reports.